Craig James here from MasculinityByDesign.com. This is the Masculine by Design Mancast, and today I want to talk about a topic that I think a lot of men will benefit from, a lot of men have questions about, and that is the topic of sex. So we're going to talk about marriage, and if you're in a marriage where your wife doesn't want to have sex with you as much as you want to have sex with her, or maybe your sexual desire has also kind of waned a little bit. Either way, if sex is not what you hope that it would be in your marriage or that you expect in your marriage, this podcast is going to help you kind of bridge that gap so you can help bring sex back, hopefully regular sex back, good sex back to your marriage, passionate sex that you desire with your wife, which is a healthy thing to desire. There's nothing wrong with that. And, I think what's happened is that a lot of men have been convinced that it's okay for them to have sex once or twice a month with their wives. And I've been married 10 years now, and there has never once been a month that has gone by where I haven't had sex 10 to 15 times in a month. I can't even fathom what it would be like to have sex once or twice a month. But I have friends, and I've talked to other guys where that's norm for them. And it's sad. It really is pathetic. I mean, that is something that men derive a lot of value from. That's one of the ways that men primarily, that they feel love from their spouse is physical. And when they aren't getting that regular sex, it does weigh on them. It makes them start to devalue themselves, to feel like maybe they're not worthy of sex in their wives' eyes. And to be honest, that is a big part of it. We see so many men today that have been emasculated. They're fat, they're out of shape, they don't have a lot of self-discipline, they blame others for their shortcomings in life, they're always complaining, they rarely exercise their intellect and read a thought-provoking book or have something interesting to talk about. They're too timid to even make an executive decision on where to take the family for dinner. And again, it's pathetic. I mean, how do you think a wife sees those things? That's not something that's going to make her aroused and want her to have sex with you. It's quite the opposite, actually. And it's kind of tempting to describe this as an epidemic, but it's not really an epidemic. Smallpox is an epidemic. The plague was an epidemic. Husbands that are fat, tepid, not sexually desired by their wives, that's a consequence. That's a consequence for their behavior, for their actions, for their decisions. This is a result of their complacency and lack of self-discipline. And there are probably some very few exceptions to this where men are driven, they are masculine, and their wives just for whatever reason do not desire them. But I will say, of the men that I've talked to, of the men that I know, those who exude masculine qualities, they are satisfied in their sex life. Their women want to have sex with them. They have regular sex. If your situation is different, please let me know about it, because you'd be the first. So men have allowed their masculine foundation to be eroded. They don't have their masculine qualities anymore, and their masculine qualities are what gives their wives sexual desires for them. And so when they become emasculated, their wives no longer want to have sex with them. It's actually a very clear and direct path to reinvigorating her sex life, and that's taking back control over our masculinity. And so I talked in the last podcast a little bit about how society and especially feminists today have kind of encouraged men down this path. They tell men that it's okay to be fat, it's okay to be skinny fat, it's okay to have a dad bod. They tell us that women like that. And I'm here to tell you, women don't like that. The same way that, some of you have wives who maybe put on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds after you've gotten married. It's okay to admit that that's not attractive to you. It's okay to admit that. But just also understand that the same holds true the other way around. Your wife is not as attracted to you when you have a gut that sticks out further than your penis. That's just not something that she's attracted to. Okay, so you need to take control of that. All right, you need to take control of that emasculated body that you've developed. It's okay, we all slip up sometimes. So, but what masculine men do is they recognize where they've fallen short, and they change course, and they do what needs to be done to recorrect their behavior. And so what your wife needs, she needs you to lead the family. She needs you to lead from a position of strength, have confidence, to be decisive. It's tempting for guys to swallow the lie that feminists and others push down our throats, that it's okay to be emasculated and let the woman make all the decisions in the family. But your wife is impacted by that. Even if she tells you she's okay with that, she's not. Emotionally, she's not. Even if she doesn't realize it, it affects her. You need to take the lead. You need to assert yourself. And another dynamic that's there that women won't often admit to, and I think most women don't even realize this because it happens on a subconscious level, is that women are sexually excited by men who have value. So men who demonstrate that they have a higher value, particularly than other men. So, for instance, if you are out with your wife and another woman is flirting with you, that demonstrates higher value to her. That immediately enhances her libido because she sees that another woman values you. Even if you're doing nothing to bring this on, you're just being your normal, nice, masculine self. A woman hitting on you, even if it's kind of inconspicuous and not obvious, that demonstrates higher value to your wife. That another woman values you, and so she should value you as well. And so whether it's fair or not, our women derive the sexual value that they ascribe to us from the sexual value that is ascribed to us from other women. And so masculine husbands command greater sexual attention from all women, and so we also command greater sexual attention from our wives. And it's interesting to me how men will typically respond to this scenario, and I've seen this with guys in my own life. A man sees that his wife doesn't really have the sexual desire for him that she once had, or she doesn't have the sexual desire for him that he wants her to have. And so we're kind of logical by nature. That's how we are. It's how God has made us as men in His image. And so we tend to resort to negotiating. We'll try to find out what is it that our wives need from us, so we can get her to want to have sex with us more often. In his book Rational Male, Rollo Tomassi talks about this in a very interesting and thought-provoking way, and I think it's head on. It's dead accurate here. He says how men think this through. It's very logical, but it doesn't work. And he says a man thinks, okay, I desire sex with my wife. Okay, only my wife can give me the sex I desire. So a man talks to his wife to see what her conditions for giving sex would be. She gives him those conditions. Then he meets those conditions for sex, and then he's going to get the sex he needs. So again, it sounds logical, right? You negotiate the conditions with your wife. What does she need to want to give you sex more often? You do those things, she'll give you sex, right? So again, it's very logical, but it doesn't work this way because, a wife's sexual desire for her husband is not something that can be negotiated. It's something that is inside of her. It's in the subconscious realm of her psyche that she needs certain aspects of her life fulfilled in order for her sex drive to be up to par. And so that's something that a lot of guys just they don't get it. You can compel your wife by negotiation to comply with having sex with you, right? But you can't make her want to have sex with you. Again, Rollo Tomassi in his book Rational Male, he paints a really good picture of this. He says even a prostitute will agree to have sex with a man under the right conditions being negotiated, but that doesn't mean she wants to have sex with him, right? And as married men, our goal should be to have wives that want to have sex with us. And so let's talk about that. How do we get our wives to want to have sex with us? What is it that we can do to drive her sex drive, to drive it up, to make her want to have sex with us more often, or as often as we wish that she would? And so first, this can require a drastic change in our behavior. For guys who are emasculated, who are completely out of touch with their masculinity, first I suggest you go to masculinitybydesign.com and sign up to get my free ebook, Masculine by Design. That'll give you a great start there. But beyond that, you have to reclaim your masculinity. That is part and parcel with your wife's desire to have sex with you. And so I'm going to go through a few very tangible ways that you can bring your masculinity back to the surface and make your wife see that you are a higher value man, that you are deserving of her attention, of her sexual energy. And so first, stop saying, I don't know, and it's up to you, okay? Guys who are indecisive, that weighs on your wife emotionally. She needs a guy who is a rock for her, who is there to lead her, to provide guidance, who isn't leaving all the decisions up to her. She wants somebody who is assertive, somebody who leads the family, who takes charge. It's better for you to make any decision in a moment of decision than to not make one at all. And the goal isn't to be domineering; it's to show your wife and your family that you're engaged, that you lead, that you take charge. So make suggestions, have opinions, engage in conversations with your wife. It doesn't have to be, things of great importance, anything. Just have something to say, have your own opinions, be convicted. When your wife asks something as simple of where do you want to go to eat today, make a decision, right? Don't waffle about it and say, well, I don't care, it's up to you, right? That weighs on your wife. She doesn't want that. She wants you to take charge. So, make a decision. Any decision is better than no decision. It's okay even if, she doesn't like your decision. You at least made one, and you took charge, and you showed leadership, and then you guys can work together to come to a mutually agreeable decision after that. Just don't push the ball solely in her court on family decisions. It's not what a leader does. It's what a servant does. It projects emasculation. You don't want to do that. You want to be a leader in your home, and you want to be a leader for your wife. She needs that from you. So being decisive, it shows that you're taking initiative, that you have confidence, even if your decision isn't a perfect one. Any decision or suggestion is infinitely better than no decision at all, and your wife will take notice. Another way that you can stoke your wife's sexual desires is to, exercise your intellect a little bit. Part of being an effective leader is making the right decisions and also being able to convince others that those decisions are correct. So making good decisions requires intelligence. It requires the ability to assimilate information, think it through, critically think about the different options available, and make the right option, the right choice based on the options that you have. So the ability to clearly articulate yourself, again, it's another important aspect of that. And so you need to exercise your intellect to be able to do those things. And that impacts you in so many other ways that will give you higher value in the eyes of your wife. The amount of intellectual stimulation that you engage yourself in is going to be directly proportional to your potential for achievement in your career, to the power that you hold over others, the influence you have over those in your sphere of friends and acquaintances, what your social status is, your ability to provide for your family. Those are all things that demonstrate higher value to your wife. Now, this higher value is exactly the reason that rich, successful, powerful guys are magnets for gorgeous women, right? They see this higher value that these guys have, and that's a big part of what attracts these women to them. And so you can create that same kind of desire in your wife by committing yourself to a few things, right? Always trying to be improving yourself. Do things that are going to improve your life and your family's life. If you can learn a new skill that's going to earn you more money, do it. If you can take special training that will earn you a promotion, do it. Go find a job with another company that pays better. Read books and learn about topics that will increase your earnings potential. Or at least give you interesting ideas to talk about. Become an entrepreneur, start a side business, earn a degree, solve problems at home and at work that will provide value to your boss or to your family. These things provide value to your wife. She sees them and demonstrates higher value to her, and that higher value will stoke her sexual engine. I truly pity a man, any man, that allows himself to be intellectually stagnant. I mean, we've been given an enormous potential to learn, to grow, to apply what we've learned, to better ourselves, to better our societies, to solve problems, to think critically. And, to squander that is a shame. And, I think that wives see this as well, and they're not too keen on it either. So exercise your intellect, learn, always be learning, always try to strive for greater challenges, to do more with your life. Your wife will see this, and it will bode well for your sex life. The next thing that you need to be aware of is that you need to be positive and supportive at all times, or most of the time. A vast majority of the time, your attitude should be one that is positive, and you should be exuding confidence in your life. Your wife looks to you to provide stability and emotional support for her and your family. She doesn't need you coming home whining about your day and complaining about everything not going right in your life. That just weighs on her. She already has her own issues that she's worried about or that she's dealing with, and you just compound it when you come home and complain and whine to her about the things that you wish were different. And I think it's important to remember, guys, that complaining has never accomplished anything positive in a man's life. Never. It doesn't help anything. Now, it's okay to recognize areas where you want to see change. That's a good thing. It's great to reflect that way and then use that to motivate you to take the right action to correct course. That's okay. That's great. That's what we should all be doing. But complaining isn't that. Complaining is completely the opposite of that. It's simply wasting all of your energy on voicing and speaking out about what you wish were different, but never doing anything to take charge to change it. So take charge. Set a positive example for your family. Exemplify for them what it means to take life's challenges head on, without allowing undesirable circumstances to dampen your spirits. As a husband goes, so goes the family. And if you are carrying around a bunch of negativity, it's like cancer to the emotional stability of your wife and of your house. And when your wife has this emotional strain that's constantly placed on her by your complaining and your negativity, that takes a toll on her desire for sexual intimacy with you. She's not going to want to have sex with you when she's emotionally drained because of all the burdens you place on her with your complaining and negativity. So take charge. Set an example of what it is to stay positive and confidently meet the challenges life throws at you and your family. Give your wife and your family comfort knowing that they can rely on you to lead your family in times of blessings, hardships, and everything in between. Be a rock for your wife. As I write in my free book, ebook, Masculine by Design, that you can get at masculinitybydesign.com, I write that women need their emotional needs met before they open up physically, and men need their physical needs met before they open up emotionally. So you need to meet your wife's emotional needs if you want her to open up to you physically, and complaining and negativity has no place in that. Next, you need to lift weights. Have strength, have some muscle on your body. Men weren't designed to be sedentary and weak, and women weren't designed to be attracted to that. Nothing's going to sap your wife's sex drive for you faster than you having a paltry frame with, hardly any muscle definition because it's all obscured by body fat. The good thing is that, once you start taking control of that and building some muscle, building some strength, leaning out your frame a little bit, your wife's sex drive is going to come back very, very quickly. That's, again, another way that you're demonstrating to her that you have higher value. Just the fact that you are showing self-discipline and going to the gym 5 days a week is enough to do that as well. And so lift weights. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Go to the gym. Make sure you're strength training. Don't just lift a 5-pound dumbbell 20 times on each arm and call it a day. The weight should be heavy enough where you strain to lift it, maybe for 5 or 6 reps. Track what you're lifting so you continually go up in weight as you get stronger, and your muscles will continue to grow. The heavier weights you can move without breaking good form, the more strong and dense your muscles are going to become. So it doesn't have to be that complicated, and I'll write more about this topic on masculinitybydesign.com as the days go by here, and I fill out the site with more content. But you need to be lifting weights. You need to be building muscle. Lifting weights provides so much value to a man, particularly strength training, than just what you see on your body. And again, I'll talk more about that either in a future podcast or on some future postings on masculinitybydesign.com. So in regards to your body as well, lifting weights, strength training is great, but it's only going to go so far if you're not feeding your body well. And so you need to be eating healthy foods. That's a good example for your family and for your wife as well. To lead by feeding your body well. I talked in the last podcast about owning your body and the impact that has on your family, your children, those that you associate with. You don't need to complicate things here. Eat foods that are as close to their natural state as possible. Fruits, vegetables, lean meats. This doesn't have to be complicated. I find that following paleo nutritional guidelines is a great way for guys to accomplish this. Eating clean is important. The other thing that's important is your calories. You can eat clean, but if you're eating a ton of calories, you're still going to be fat. So you need to make sure that your calories are in line with your goals. And I think that, a good goal for most men is between 2,200 and 2,500 calories. If your goal is to lose fat and lean out while you build muscle, that's a good starting point. Again, I'll talk more about that later, but the point is your wife needs to see that you make your body a priority. She needs to see you doing things to be stronger, to get leaner, to be healthy, to be fit, and that will demonstrate value to her, and it will make her want to have sex with you more often. Dress to impress. Take some pride in your appearance. You don't need to drop thousands of dollars on a polished GQ wardrobe, but put a little thought into what you're wearing. Make sure it comes off as clean and show that you care about the way you look. You don't like it when your wife, dresses like a scrub around the house or when she goes out. It doesn't make you any more attracted to her. It, I'm sure, diminishes that a little bit. Well, it works the same way with her, guys. I think the best way that married men should think about their style is to dress as if they were single. If you're going to dress in a way that would attract the attention of single females, I think it will also attract the attention of your wife. So that's a good goal to have. Look good for your wife. She notices how you dress, and if you dress like a typical married schlub, is only going to get you the same non-existent sex life of one. Push the sexual envelope at home. So you might do these things, and maybe your wife still doesn't want to have sex with you as much as you wish that she would, but it's coming back. It's going to take time for her to get comfortable with this new you. So push the envelope a little bit. Do some things that are going to let her know you want to have sex with her. Start kissing her on her neck, or pull her in for a passionate kiss, just kind of in an impromptu manner. Offer to give her a massage, or just start massaging her without asking if it's okay. Go to bed naked when you guys go to bed for the night. That kind of tells her, right, you're ready for some action. If you want sex from your wife, it's up to you as a man to take what you want, right? It doesn't mean do it forcefully. Obviously, she needs to consent to it. But 9 times out of 10, if you advance on her sexually, if you start kissing her neck, you start doing the things that make her tingle in her special place, right? 9 times out of 10, she's going to be more than elated to oblige your advance. On the off chance that she doesn't, this is really important, guys. Remain positive. Don't get all upset and down on yourself and pout if she doesn't give you the sex you want when you want it. It's a small blow to your confidence, but if she sees that phase you, that just blows your chance of a future sexual rendezvous with her. It doesn't show her that you have much value or confidence. Walk away as if it doesn't even phase you and stay positive. Try again tomorrow. That's the kind of reaction that is going to show her that you're confident. You can deal with a sexual rejection, and she's gonna take note of this, and it's gonna serve you well in the long run. So at the end of the day, your wife wants a masculine man. If she's not having sex with you as much as you want her to, you are the reason for that, okay? I know it's tempting and a lot easier to place the blame on her, but 99.99% of the time, it's us, guys. It's our fault that our wives aren't wanting to have sex with us as often or as passionately as we want her to. She needs our masculine counterpoint to her feminine nature. That's what she's attracted to. That's what she was designed to be attracted to by God. So be bold and decisive. Get fit, strong, and healthy. Right? Lead the family by example. Be assertive. Make decisions. Exercise your mind. Enhance the value that you provide as the man of provision for your family. Work to better yourself. Mind your physical appearance, the way you dress, how you groom yourself. Stay positive and confident at all times, and assert yourself in the bedroom. It's okay to go after what you want. Show your wife you want to have sex with her. That's all right. She's probably be more than excited to see that you want to have sex with her. Fixing a sexless marriage or a marriage where sex isn't happening as much as you like. It's not always easy, but I think it is simple. It's as simple as start being a man. Unlock your masculinity. Stop repressing it and use it to your advantage. So that's all for today. Again, this is Craig James with MasculinetyByDesign.com. You can hit me up on Twitter at MasculineDesign. And also, again, please go to MasculinetyByDesign.com. And pick up your free copy of my ebook, Masculine by Design, just by signing up on any of the forums there that are on the site, and I'll send you your copy right away. Until next time, thanks for listening. This is Craig James. I'm out.